if you want to succeed as a corporate lawyer, what will be the top skills in most demand? So I wanted to share that also with you. One obvious area is technology law, right? So technology law is really growing and it's going to grow even further, right? Anybody has a doubt about this, right? So technology law is going to grow in a big way. So what are the skills within technology law which are very, very relevant? Tech contracts is going to be very, very relevant. Digital privacy is a big issue, is going to be very relevant. Skills related to digital privacy and law will be in high demand. GDPR and PDPA. GDPR is General Data Protection Rules. PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act. In India, we'll have the Personal Data Protection Act, which will get, which will come into play. And there is already massive work related to GDPR that you can do in India and abroad. And definitely, personal data protection law will be a game changer. People are already gearing up to comply to this, and it will be very interesting. Cyber security and cyber crimes at an all-time high. Remember all those 50 crore people coming online, right? That will also be crazy because they don't know how to use the internet, and there will be enough people trying to take advantage of them on the online world. And we, India, have, this is one area where there is huge demand and no supply. If you are a victim of a phishing scam, how do you recover your money? If you're a victim of sextortion online or anything, or any of the online crimes, how do you redress it? There is nothing. And it is shameful that none of us have built any viable solution, right, for people to get redressal. Okay, and I hope in the next 1 or 2 years, 3 years, we'll see Indian lawyers building good services, not just traditional law firms, but good services to address cyber security and cyber crimes that are happening here. Fintech regulations, definitely fintech is booming. Fintech is growing like anything, and there would be amazing opportunity for people who master fintech regulations. Online and cross-border IPR enforcement, this is huge because now IPR is becoming relevant cross-border. Okay, earlier we have seen this happening for the last 10 years for limited, say Bollywood movies is not only that you want to protect IPR of Bollywood in India. Okay, you might make a lot of money from China from Bollywood movies, or from, for that matter, from Pakistan or Bangladesh or from New York or America, Canada, wherever, right? So cross-border IPR enforcement is top-notch priority today, and not only for large movie houses or so. Even if you are an online content creator, you don't want your content to be copied by somebody else from a different country. And online and cross-border IPR enforcement will be the highlight in the coming years for IP lawyers. Online defamation, already this is going on in a major way. On one hand, people claim they have a right to criticize companies, they have a right to, and you can see like major cases are happening, going on in the courts now over online defamation. And this will only grow from here. And even like competitors writing bad things about each other, because online world is such a world where you just have to go and say something bad. I can say that whatever 𝗲𝗏 is something horrible, right? Doesn't matter, some horrible accusation. 𝗲𝗏 is such a horrible person, and he has done this, I have seen him doing blah blah blah, and then 10,000 people will like it, share it, and it will just start a whole this thing, right? So this happens all the time, and it's growing. Somebody can take a clip of your, even imagine like people are in classroom, children are in classroom, somebody can take a video clip, take it out of context, something a teacher said, take it out of context, and then circulate and cause defamation. So this will definitely be a huge area for lawyers. Cyberbullying, absolutely. E-commerce regulations, this is going to be huge. E-commerce regulations is because there is such a growth in e-commerce, there is regulating it also is a huge challenge. There are not too many revenge porn, correct? Not too many experts on e-commerce regulations in India, another area which has huge demand and very low supply. Earlier, there are only few e-commerce companies, few large e-commerce companies, right? Today, there are thousands and thousands of e-commerce companies. Just go and see, right? E-commerce companies are not restricted to Amazon, Snapdeal, and Flipkart. That time is gone. For every small thing, there's a different e-commerce company which is small, maybe doing a turnover of 1 crore, 2 crore, 10 crore. 𝗦𝗏 is still huge, right? But I mean, I was just seeing this company doing more than couple of crores a month turnover, just selling keto food online. Okay. And there are many such players. Okay. In the keto food market alone, there are multiple players. One company doing 2 crores per month. It's incredible the way it's growing. Local shops have gone online. Anybody who has some unique product going online and selling it. And this will continue to grow. We have seen nothing. This is going to be 100 times bigger than it is today. Cross-border contract enforcement and arbitration. This has become important because there is more money in cross-border business. People have realized that doing business only within a small, they're missing out on opportunities. They need to be cross-border business. And people are increasingly, Indian businesses are going international increasingly. So cross-border contract enforcement and arbitration is a huge area of focus because of arbitrage. Correct. Okay. Technology licensing. This is going to be huge. Technology licensing, because people are building technology and it needs to be licensed out. And there are a lot of licensing contracts being signed. One app was for booking playgrounds and stadiums and swimming pools. And not one, there are multiple such apps, right? Platform and intermediary liability. Okay. So platform and intermediary liability, because people claim that I am a platform. If somebody has posted something here, I am not liable, right? So if somebody writes something defamatory on Facebook, Facebook is not liable as long as they are taking it down quickly enough. So if I complain to Facebook that somebody posted something defamatory, Facebook acts on it, then it's fine. Otherwise, if they don't act on it, Facebook will also become liable if I sue Facebook, right? Insta, Facebook, whatever, like you can imagine, Twitter, whatever, like there are hundreds of such websites today, and platform and intermediary liability has become super important. Investment practice is saying Salman Khan is a bad man since he killed innocent people, online defamation. I would say yes, because it's not proven. And if you go and say it, if he files a defamation case against it, you'll have to fight it. You'll have to go to the court, right? And you will not be able to prove it that he has done it. You have no proof, right? So if you have proof and you can back it up, this claim, then surely you can write. And then if you're sued in the court, you go and prove it. Otherwise, it would amount to defamation, right? That's what law says. Investment practice. VC and PE, right? This is growing like anything because all this new technology, all this new e-commerce business, whenever they are becoming successful, they are going and raising venture capital, private equity money, right? VC is venture capital, PE is private equity. So VC and PE money, this is going to be even bigger in the coming years. Okay, it's going to explode. It is exploding already. Despite the pandemic, despite economic downturn, VC and PE has grown and will continue to grow because disruption grows in the world. VC and PE grows, okay, because capital is needed to support that disruption. Merger and acquisitions, both reasons. One is that companies are not doing well, then they might become available for buying for cheap, okay, as long as they have some valuable assets. And then there are other companies which are bargain hunting in the market. They have a lot of cash. They want to buy up as many companies for cheap as possible. So M&A is increasing a lot, has increased a lot. Distressed asset restructuring. This is also a very interesting area of work because assets which are distressed need some kind of rescuing, needs investment, needs a loan or whatever. Restructuring is done for all of those. So this also has become very interesting area of work. Banking and finance, for obvious reasons, because you need loans. One is recovery of loans. A lot of loans are going bad and you need to recover that. For that, you need to take help, of lawyers. So that this work is going to increase. Till February, there's a moratorium in place on NCLT proceedings, on insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings by the government. But once that is withdrawn, floodgates will open. There will be so many matters. It will be incredible for recovery of loans. So that's going to be one very interesting area of work. IPOs are growing. A lot of companies which are not doing IPO before, after withstanding this pandemic, they need more cash and they're doing IPO. A good example is Airbnb. They could have done an IPO 10 years back, but they did not do it. They waited to grow very big. And they finally did an IPO now. And they made a lot of money from their IPO. People became very rich, but that IPO was postponed. But after pandemic, they were hit hard and they were forced to do a big IPO. And there are many other such examples, right? Contract drafting. Contract drafting, because a lot of people, especially in India, were fond of doing business without contracts. They said, oh, we do business with our friends, with our family. We don't need any contracts. Our word is good enough and so on. People did business like that. Do you know people like that who did business without contracts earlier? Okay, all those people who actually did business in writing, in contracts, only they got their money back. And the people who had contracts got their money back earlier because they threatened to sue. And the people who did not have contracts still have not got their money in most cases. Correct? So people who used to do business like that to save taxes, by the way, have been hit the worst. Okay? All the tax they have saved, they have already lost. Okay? So now another thing I had said about being more formal, this is one more reason. But people are now becoming more fond of contracts because they realized without contracts, they have no guarantee. They have just had a bad experience. Once your house, nobody takes a fire insurance, but anybody who has their house on fire, immediately next thing they do is they go and buy fire insurance for the next house. Okay, so it's like that now. All the people who did not actually do contracts have burned their hands. They're all looking for lawyers to do contract drafting. So contract drafting is going to increase in demand like anything in the years and months and years to come.